I'm Joe Houghton. I'm so excited to share about the next mission for Super Dice Heroes Saga. This is the February mission. So let's go to the table and have a quick teach of how to play this mission. For this round, you're going to need 2 tokens. There are 3D print files if you have access to something like that, or just 2 pawns or 2 whatever tokens that you want to use. One for you, the superhero, which this mission is the Great Groundhog, and one for, this is new this month, the supervillain, which the supervillain this month is Grandma Winter. You also, what's different in this month is instead of 4 of the same color dice, you need 3 of one color and 1 unique die. I have a blue one here because that is going to represent Grandma Winter. There's 2 pages to print, and then there are 3 pages of rules. So this first page here is the game sheet, and the other page is just for funsies, but it is the achievement tracker, which you can log your plays and you can earn different achievements trying to see everything in a certain mission. And this is something too that over several plays you can keep working towards, but this is the fun part of this month-to-month adventure is you can log your score. You can compete to be the superhero of the month, and you also, what you do in your mission, it will affect the story in future missions. So just wanted to highlight that. But let's look here at this mission so you can learn how to play. Super Dice Heroes is played over normally 12 rounds, but this one is 14 rounds. In each round, you'll roll the dice, and with these 4 dice, you're going to write the stats up here, and all the players, if you're playing with multiple people, are going to use the same dice roll. And you're going to keep doing that every turn. You're playing simultaneously over these 14 rounds. You're going to be moving around the board, and you're going to be trying to help and rescue different bystanders, trying to earn the most points, or in this it's called honor. So the first thing you do in this mode is you're going to write down the blue die, or the unique colored die, into this snowflake area. And that's going to represent Grandma Winter. And she is always going to move first to start a round, whatever that die number is. So I would write here 2, 3, 6, 6, and she would move into the 2 zone. So there are 6 locations here, and so the first thing that always happens is Grandma Winter moves to that place. Now you get to start your turn. You always start up here, so you'll have to spend a die to move, but the main mechanics in the game are you can use a die to either move to a location, or you can spend a die to help in your current location. Let's talk about moving first. If you spend that die, you get to move to that location that matches the die number. So if I spend a 6, I can move down to the 6 area. Now, the other thing with movement is you can spend a die that matches your area. So if I spend a 6 while I'm in the 6 area, then I can move to any of the other locations. Cool? That's moving. Helping. In each location, there's kind of a unique thing for that location, and you can spend a die, and then you'll either cross off that number or write in that number, or sometimes it's asking for any number die. So I could spend a 3 and then write a 3 in the location where I am, or cross off something. We're going to talk about what all the different things that are unique to this mission for that, but that's the gist. And so you'll do that, you'll roll dice, do these 4 help/moves, and then go to the next round. Now remember, every round that you roll the dice, the blue die will move Grandma Winter first. Here's why that's important, because if you ever end your turn, end the round, in the same location as Grandma Winter, it's not the worst thing, but it's not great. The next round, the immediate next round, that blue die, you do not get to use it for yourself. So you're short a die for that round. So, you know, sometimes you can end up doing that, but you want to try your best to get to use every die every round. Also, this is how you can damage, how you can defeat Grandma Winter. She is menacing this farm in this rural community, and you are the farmer's daughter, and you have donned your great groundhog mask, and she has kidnapped your pet groundhog. Oh my, what a story. Perfect for February. But the way that you defeat her is you have to be in the same location as her to deal damage. So there are 6 locations, and this is like a unique place. You can't move to her. You have to be in the location where she is. And so if you're in the same location, then it starts left to right, and it's numbers 1 through 6. If you finish it and get all the way to the 6, you first of all rescue the groundhog, which is great because it's 25 points. You want to do that. You also get to remove her from the board. You can put her back here, you can move her off the board, but just that you no longer have to move her on your board with that blue die anymore. So she's going to be moving around, causing mischief as you play. So let's talk about each different location and what is unique about this mission. So this first one, the farmhouse, if you notice this, it's got this rectangle here, has arrows at the bottom. For the farmhouse, you have to start at the bottom of it and work your way up. And you'll notice that each row it says odd, and then the next row says even for each space, odd, then even. And so this you can put any number as long as it meets those requirements. So I could spend a 1 and put it in a 1 in the odd spot. Then I could spend this 6 and put a 6 in the even spot. You could start in one column and continue on in another column later. You don't have to finish it all. You'll notice too, if you finish a column, that's when you get one of these animal bystanders. You're trying to rescue the farm animals. And so you'll come down here if you do that, like the pig here, and there are tracks in this mission. So you'll start the leftmost track and X that track. And then at the end of the game, you'll earn honor for the furthest you made it on those tracks. There's a sheep, there's a chicken here. You'll see that there's a lot of chickens around the board. There's only 4 sheep, 3 pigs, hey-oh, 2 cows, and just 1 groundhog. You notice too, if you finish one of these rows, that's how you earn honor. It's also how you earn special bonuses. There are 2 types of bonuses that can be gained in each location, which are the help bonus, which is an orange hand, and the move bonus, which is a green person moving. And so the help bonus, once you gain these, you come down here and you circle each one when you gain them. And then at any point from that point forward, you can spend it, X that, and then spend that to get an extra die of any number to use for that specific type. So if it's a help bonus, you spend that and then you get an extra die of any number you want to use in the location where you are. Or you can spend a move to get an extra die to basically move to any location. So that's help and moves. If you don't spend them, like say you earn them, but at the end of the game you have ones that are not spent, they're worth a point. So use them wisely. There are 2 other new bonuses here. You'll notice these are snowballs. These are fun. These are immediate bonuses. As soon as you get them, you exit off, and then you get to deal a damage. You get to defeat an icicle minion anywhere on the board. Now, in the last mission, there were robots menacing the city. Out here on this farm, there are icicle minions in each location, and there are 3. If you look closer at these icicle minions, they have menacing eyes, but then they have a little number sign where their mouth is, which means that you can spend any number die to defeat one of these icicle minions. So a snowball lets you throw a snowball at a number at any icicle minion to defeat them, which is great because there may be that you had one that you wanted to defeat down in another location, you didn't get a chance to, and you can throw that snowball to do that. That's an immediate, you do it right as soon as you get the snowball. You'll notice around each icicle minion, within the 3 of them, there is another symbol, some sort of bonus you're gaining. And they coordinate with the 1 and 2 with the farmer up here. The 3 and 4 coordinate with Grandma Winter, and the 5 and 6 connect to coordinate with this icicle villain, the big icicle. So if you do those 3 there, then you get to unlock free the farmer. You get to do 1x on that spot for the farmer. Now it takes 2 of them, so you'd have to come over to the barn or throw snowballs at these other 3 minions to free the farmer. If you do that, you'll notice that there is a little barn with a +1. So you circle that, you come down here and circle it, and that makes it so every animal bystander you rescued is worth 1 bonus point. You can get a lot of points with that if you play that way for a game. Okay, so as I'm kind of talking about each thing, there's kind of a unique thing that is being unveiled. But let's look here at the farmhouse, which has a unique piece to it, not just this, but another like bonus way, a bonus way to get honor, additional bonus honor. Each location has one of these too. So this is for if each number that is written here is if each number is written as 1 to 6, if each number is represented 1 through 6, then you get a 10-point bonus. So say you only get like 1s and 2s and you put, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, only 1s and 2s are represented. But if you are able to represent all 6 dice, you get this 10-point bonus. So that's something to think about as you work on that. Let's look at zone 2, the barn. This is another rectangle, it's long ways, and this one you can start anywhere, continue on from anywhere. This is just using a specific die to X off that number that matches, and you'll see if you finish a row or column, you get the coordinated, you get the bonus or the bystander or the honor and the snowball if that applies. Also, the bonus for this area is if you finish it, if you do all 12 dice spots and X all 12, you get the cow. Cows are good because they're worth points, a lot of points. Let's look at the field. This one's a little more unique. This one has 4 fields that each are 3 rows, 3 numbers within each row. There are 4 rows. And you can start anywhere, continue on from anywhere, but this one you're trying to get a set of 3 that are all the same number, all equal. So you could put any number to start. Say I put a 2 here, but then the next 2 numbers in that spot would need to be a 2. So say I were in this location with this roll, I would put a 1 here, a 2 here, and then a 6 and a 6 here. You could start in any way, right? Because when you finish a row, you get a specific bonus. So maybe you're going for a certain bonus. If you don't finish it, you don't get the bonus. And also, if you finish the pair, the top 2 pair, you get the pig. If you finish the bottom 2 pair, you get the cow. And this is what's unique about this one, this additional honor bonus, is each field that is the same number as another field, you get +5 honor for. So if I were to finish this top one with 6s, and I say I did this one with 1s, and then I come down here and I did this bottom one with 6s, then the two ones that match are 6s, so I would get +5 +5 bonus honor because there are each field that is the same number. Now if you're able to do all 4 the same number, that's how you get all 4 of these bonuses. Or let's say you do a group of 6s in one, a group of 6s in the other, and then a group of 1s in one, a group of 1s in the other. That's how you can get all 4 of these bonuses as well. Let's look at the old oak tree. This one you start at the bottom and you're going to branch and work your way up. The first number can be any number that you spend to cross off. And then you can go, but it has to be the specific number. So if I go to the left here, it's a 1, and then after that 1, it's a 2, then after that 2, it opens up the 3 and the 6. You get the gist, right? And whatever you X off as you go, you get those bonuses. The additional honor bonus here is if all of these are X'd, all 12 dice squares are X'd, you get 10 additional honor. Let's look at the windmill. This one is the most different. It's a little confusing when you first look at it, but once you understand it, it's not that hard. You start here in this location, and each number you place in here can be any number. So you're just spending a die to put that specific number into that spot. The first one you place here, let's say I put a 1 here. The next one I put a 2. You see the arrow follows around clockwise around the windmill. Then the next one I could put a 6, and then there's a snowball. And then the next one I could put a 6, and then I get this move bonus, right? You can see it keeps going around the circle, moving further and further inward. Now, when you finish a blade, a group of 3, you get 5 honor. You'll see that it has that little symbol at the end of each blade. So you need to put in a good bit of numbers before you really start to get some payoff, but also it can be any number. So it's really easy to do this one. But here's where the challenge comes. The additional honor bonus is each blade that is the same number, you get +5 honor. So you can get a decent payoff if you're able to coordinate this. And so you could put like 1, 2, 6, 6, and then maybe the next roll is similar. And if it has a 1 along the way, then you could put a 1 here, right? And you're trying to get all 1s in this blade. Now, if you don't, it's okay. You still get 5 honor. That's how you get your bonus honor, though. You'll notice, too, that these icicle minions are surrounding a punch symbol. Now, this one is how you defeat this icicle villain. You have to do each trio of icicle minions, and when you do that, you defeat the icicle villain, and you get this ×2 bonus, which makes all your icicle minions worth double the points. I didn't mention this earlier. Whenever you defeat an icicle minion, you can come down here, you mark one off, and it's 1 honor per icicle minion you defeat. So if you get that, everyone that you defeat is no longer 1 point, they're worth 2 points. You can get a lot of points from them. And let's look here at the silos. This one, it's got 2 columns, and you start at the bottom of each column. The first number can be any number. The following number has to be equal to or less than that number. Think of stacking. Something needs to be smaller on top of it. So you want to start with your high numbers, and you want to try to keep this number as high as possible because when you finish a column, you'll notice it has this honor symbol and a question mark. That is whatever the last number is you put in a row, in a column, you add that over here, and that's how much honor you get. And you multiply that number by 4. So if you're able to put a 6 here and get a lot of 6s and keep putting 6s and make it all the way to the top on 6s because, right, it's equal to or less than, then you would get 6 times 4, 24 honor for those 6 dice that you put in there. But maybe you can't do that. You put a 6, then a 5, then a 4, and a 4, and then a 3. Your last number is a 3, so it would be 3 times 4, so you would get 12 honor for that. It's different for each silo, right? So you can maybe go really hard on one and get a 6 on it, and the other one you're just trying to get the bonuses along the way. So there you go. It's kind of a unique thing, the silos there. There's one thing I didn't talk about, Grandma Winter. When you finish these icicle minions around the old oak tree in the field, there are hearts. And this is, when you do that, immediately you just X off Grandma Winter's next die. This is unique that you don't have to be in the same location as Grandma Winter to damage her with this. If you're dealing her direct damage, you have to be in the same location where you're spending the die that matches. But when you X off these icicle minions, she just loses her next die on that. I think that's everything on the area. Let's talk about your superpower. Each superhero has superpower. This one, there are 3 uses for it. And this lets you change an already rolled die up 1 or minus 1 or plus 1, up 1 or down 1. And so you have 3 uses of that. And this does not give you an additional die. This is changing an already rolled die up or down 1. These can be really helpful because you're looking for that specific number, and the numbers aren't just being rolled, or not just being rolled. And so this lets you be able to spend that to get that number you really needed. You can spend multiple of these on the same die. So say you really needed a 3, but a 5 was rolled, you could spend it twice to change that 5 to a 4, then a 4 to a 3. Also, the numbers do not wrap around. So if it's a 1, the only thing you can do with that is increase it to a 2. If it's a 6, the only thing you can do is decrease it to a 5. They do not wrap around. All right, that's the game. So 14 rounds, see how well you can do, log your scores, and wow, this is so much fun. We'll see how February goes, and looking forward to the months ahead. Thanks so much for playing.